Hello, welcome to Kush News, the newscast of the African diaspora. I'm your anchor, Ochanda, daily bringing you the top stories from Africa and the Caribbean. Let's take a look at today's news on Monday, December 4th, 2023. We go to Guinea-Bissau, where the president has dissolved his parliament. Guinea-Bissau's President Umaro Embalo had dissolved the government and accused the government of passivity during the face of violence last week, which he said was an attempted coup. His move left the West African nation without a lawmaking body for the second time since he came into power back in 2020. The announcement was quickly dismissed as unconstitutional by one of his main rivals. Several people gathered outside the National Assembly to protest against the president's decision, saying that they were tired of voting for new lawmakers. Clashes last week between two army factions broke out in the capital and continued into Friday morning after the National Guard soldiers freed an opposition minister who had been detained on a investigation for corruption. Coups and unrest have been a commonplace in Guinea-Bissau since it gained independence from Portugal back in 1974. There was a failed coup attempt to overthrow Embalo back in February of 2022. 2 died in last week's clashes, and 6 people died at the failed coup attempt back in February of 2022. Those in Guinea-Bissau, let us know your thoughts. Let us know if you're surprised. Also, let us know where you think the country is going with the current president. We want to hear directly from you. Let's go to Tunisia, where the Tunisian government is evacuating Palestinians from the war zone. 39 Palestinians, including 29 wounded, were evacuated from Gaza into Tunisia aboard a military craft from the Tunisian Air Force. This happened on Sunday evening. Ambulances from the Ministry of Health, Civil Defense, and Military Health were waiting to take the wounded Palestinians to Tunisian hospitals for treatment. An official Tunisian delegation and another representing the Palestinian embassy in Tunisia said that dozens of volunteers from the Tunisian Red Crescent were present to receive the wounded and their companions with bouquets of flowers. The official from the government explained that the wounded would be transferred to a number of public, private hospitals and said that a committee had been formed to follow the procedure and progress of the cases of wounded Palestinians. War has since began and a ceasefire has started but has ended between Israel and Palestine. In Tunisia, let us know your thoughts about your guys' government and military doing what they can to help out wounded Palestinians. Let's go to the Caribbean and end it there. We go to Grenada, where the government plans to move ahead with legalization of marijuana. The government of Grenada, in its last update, is moving forward with progressing and turning towards legalizing marijuana. The Minister of Finance said that it's moving ahead with plans to legalize and decriminalize marijuana to support the exploitation of the plant for medicinal purposes. The Minister of Finance made the announcement on Monday as he presented the national budget. He said that new legalization or legislation to advance this agenda is expected to come on stream during the first part of 2024. Said that the government remains committed to diversifying Grenada's economic base and finding new modes of economic growth and transformation. Back in September of 2022, the government of Grenada announced that it had established a commission on cannabis legalization and regulation. Those in Grenada, let us know how you feel about the government moving towards legalizing marijuana. Let us know if you are an individual that partakes, whether daily, infrequently, or on a consistent basis. We want to hear directly from you. When we come back, we'll have today's African proverb of the day. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Let's take a look at today's African proverb of the day, and it comes to us from no particular nation and or ethnic group, and it reads, "No matter how big a child is, he cannot deny that he was once carried on the back of a woman." Once again, no matter how big a child is, he cannot deny that he was once carried on the back of a woman. African proverb. Yeah, I see two sides of this. I see the sincere side, the side that comes from a good place where, no matter how big some of you parents that are watching your child becomes, they will always be your one and only special, your kith and kin. That's what they say in some worship places. And then the other side of it is that this can be manipulative. This can be what they call gaslighting now. And I'm serious. Too many Africans in the diaspora, such as myself, have been hit with, certain messages, and usually in demand of financial resources, and using the, guilt trip, I call it. Hey, I took care of you, or let me speak to the men. You are never to be a slave to anybody, and especially to individuals that want to use manipulative phrases or words. No matter on how much somebody took care of you or watched out for you, that was their issue. That was their decision. And they did that for whatever reason. But usually it's out of just the goodness of their heart. We'd like to think. So don't ever let anybody, get the best of you by pressuring you into doing something that you don't want to do. When they say words like, I carried you on your back, or, I did this and did that. No. And also stay away from individuals. Once they explain themselves in that type of manner, cut them off. I mean, you're more than welcome to do what you want, but cut them off, because it won't be the last time that they use that language. And also it just come on, what kind of person are they? Let me know your interpretation of today's African proverb of the day, as well as your thoughts, views, questions, comments, and concerns on the top stories. Don't forget to hit that like button. Make it your best friend. For Kush News on Kush Convos TV, I'm Ochanda. We'll see you soon.